What's good, y'all? Welcome to fucking Small Package Wrestling, where we cover fucking all of the best of wrestling, AEW, WWE, AAA, fucking Consejo Mundial, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is OG and your boy over
The
there.
rolling, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying son of a gun. And I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo! Omar, we're missing somebody today.
I know, I'm sad. I am sad. I was, for the first time in the history of Small Package Wrestling, I was nervous. I was telling Waddle before the stream, like my heart was
Heavy.
fluttering, heavy. I didn't have my rock. I don't have my rock with me, with
So if
Aaron.
Aaron's your, then what am I? What the fuck? Like,
And then look, there's this. I feel a spirit down the ramp is joining us, and so is Mikey. Let me show y'all. Our boy said we are lagging it. In fact, we were. And then I'm tired of these women abusing Dirty Dom. I agree. We could talk about that more. That's a problem. That's an issue. And then are we live? Shout out fucking down the ramp who
well,
previously shouted out. Are we? That is our fucking co-founder Aaron and his other channel that follows that where he used to do live entrances and all of that shit. So give him a follow. Thank you for fucking joining us, and we're just here. We're hopping in, bro. So how you
young
feeling,
Hennessy.
Gwen? Shit. We said, "Where's Aaron, young Henny?" I don't know, man. Bro called in sick, or maybe we had to suspend him. Do you think? Do you think we had to suspend him?
Too much of a company man. He agrees with everything WWE does. So we can't be having that. We're contrarians here. We can't
And
be. We can't be corporate men. We
then
can't.
also, I think he hit the Gunther pose a little too hard, and then was fucking, it was
Might have,
caught
might have, might have
slipping.
pulled the muscle.
It might
or
have
maybe
pulled a fucking muscle.
Or maybe he's just carrying us a little too much, Maybe he's
That's
tired of
fact.
carrying.
Dropping reels every day, bro. It's too much.
But
It's
Aaron
too much.
but Aaron's a little under the weather. He's been out there doing work. He was at the Super Bowl. Um, I don't know if he was at the Super Bowl, but he was in the area of the Super Bowl. He had some sort of something going on. And then we're gonna have belt to ass season coming up soon, so we need Aaron to rest up and get back so he can be. I'm sure he's gonna come back and he's gonna be better than ever for WrestleMania season and these shows coming up. I love double UE. I'm supposed to.
Mm, there we go.
I don't get it.
Well, on that fucking note, let's get to the fucking real fucking wrestling promotion. Imagine we just start fucking throwing hands, being all tribalist. We don't do that here in Small Package. We appreciate the art of wrestling. This is the Art of Wrestling podcast, bro. And shout out Aaron for being our resident fucking WWE. But we're about to fucking move in to A dubs. And something I think that is pretty I saw trending on the wrestling fucking verse from this last collision. Last Wednesday in Las Vegas. I just finished watching it. What a stacked card, bro. Just outside of the event that we're going to talk about, which is the fuck ice chants in the MJF and Brody King match. That card was just spectacular and just amazing. And I think it goes to show. What was that?
Who was on the card?
So it was Brody King and MJF was the main event, and then yeah, that's the one that we're gonna talk about. That's the one. That's the trending one. And then it was Andrade versus Kenny Omega. For they're doing like a tournament for the number one championship for the AEW championship. So
Mm-hmm.
the cool thing about the Brody King and the MJF match was that it was an eliminator match. And we'll talk about that more, what that means. And then who else was on the card? It was the Babes of Wrath, who's the women's tag team champions.
I like that.
They're badass, bro. You should look at their entrance. They come out to sort of like jazzy, like 80s music,
Oh,
versus
for real?
Mega Bad. Yeah, it's pretty fucking fire. But
Versus who?
so Mega Bad, who is a tag team with Penelope Ford and Megan Bain.
Not just regular bad, not just like decently bad, but like Like, it reminds me of that
Mega.
SpongeBob quote, "This is not your average everyday darkness. This is advanced darkness. This is not your average everyday bad, dude. This is mega bad."
That's literally fucking them. But
That
that
Uh-huh.
that was,
So
that,
wait, it was Mega Bad versus wait, it was Mega Bad versus
Babes of Wrath.
and then okay, and then go ahead.
And then there was one more, Ricochet versus Jack Perry for the AEW National Championship. But it was stacked. It's just a showcase of fucking wrestling. But what I think what took over outside of just the fucking wrestling was this fucking clip that we're gonna roll for y'all here. So I'm sure you all have said, seen this from the main event. This was before Brody King and MJF, tipped off. So
Question for you, because I know you guys, I know that you guys like starting chants, okay? And I kind of want to put this into context because I don't I've been to a couple of wrestling matches as Alexa calls it. And I know a lot of these chants are kind of organic. Like somebody just starts yelling one thing and then another person joins, and then all of a sudden it snowballs and the entire fucking arena is saying it, you know? So explain to us the context of when this happened. So you mentioned earlier, this was the main event, right?
main event. So Brody King is fighting MJF, who is the world the AEW World Heavyweight Champion in an eliminator match. So what an eliminator match is that if Brody King wins, then he gets to face MJF for the championship. So this wasn't a championship match. This was just for the opportunity for that title match. And it was in Las Vegas. I mean, it was the main event, and these guys have been feuding, have been having promos. The way that Tony Schiavone and Excalibur are talking about it in the commentary is that MJF is actually scared of Brody King, and so that's essentially what happened. And the outcome of this match, context wise, which I thought was actually really cool, was that MJF got squashed by Brody King. So that those chants happened, and then fucking Adam Hangman Page came out, and then fucking distracted MJF, and then fucking Brody King just came out behind fucking MJF and then just slept him with the fucking with the sleeper hold and shit. Or what was the from the video huddle we had watched with the half Nelson? Yeah, yeah. And then he was like this, and then, and then MJ
I around and the full Nelson.
yeah, fucking just slumped out, literally like that. And then Brody King just pinned him 1, 2, 3, and the crowd fucking went crazy. But the context of that match was that crowd was hot, bro. Like I mentioned, it was a stacked card. So there was hot when Brody King came out and when MJF came out. And so like when I was watching it live, like you could almost like hear like the chant making itself because at first it was just a buzz. You know how like when the bell rings and then they have to stare off and then they're like the fucking the roar. But then after like a few seconds, it started like you could hear what they were chanting. Like it was like fuck guys, fuck guys, and I was like oh shit, like. And then I thought the cool thing about it was that the camera just panned to MJF, and like before that, MJF was in character, like trying to be all serious, and then he just like broke the fourth wall and was just like fucking smiling and made like this like like the Jim Halpert like fucking The Office fucking like when he looks at the camera and shit. And yeah, that's literally what fucking that's literally what MJF did, and so that too was the kind of like the buildup to that match and the context. And like the cool thing about an AEW arena or when you go to an AEW live match is that you could really hear like everything because it's usually in a smaller crowd. So like you could hear a guy starting a fucking chant from like 10 rows down, and then it's just like very like interesting and organic crowd that you have when you're at an AEW match. And so I thought that was fucking cool. And these wrestlers' statements on it was actually like pretty dope on it. The background is that Brody King previously had come out in an Abolish Ice T-shirt, and as would sell it as a part of his merchandise. And the money from that would go to the local Hearts Foundation, which would help families impacted by deportation. And so Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, what was that?
Do you think we can link his foundation?
Yeah.
Not now, but you know what I'm
Uh,
talking about. Yeah, yeah. At
yeah,
some
I'll
point.
link it in the video or just in the description. But I actually I have a little picture
Yeah.
of his
So talk to us
shirt.
about because there was some chatter, not chatter, but I believe I don't I could be wrong, but both wrestlers, I don't know if both wrestlers or one of the wrestlers might have said something, or maybe I'm kind of
So
tripping.
that was
Uh,
the shirt.
I like that.
Um
Who is this guy?
Brody King.
Okay,
So
bro.
for the context, he came out in this in Arena, Mexico. In the AEW, like the grand, I think it was the Grand Slam in Mexico or something like that. Oh yeah, AEW Grand, uh, and he came out with this shirt. And so, like I mentioned, that it's coming out to the public, and people could buy that shit, and the proceeds are going to impacted families. But the owner, Tony Khan, was in support of this shit. Which both MJF and Brody King said, like, hey, like that's the cool thing about working for AEW is that they allow us to make these statements and to be our genuine, authentic selves. So,
That's what
um,
I wanted to ask you. I haven't watched very many AEW shows. The one I did watch, I noticed how quiet it was. I noticed that it was a match and people were just quiet. Um, it, so the chants are not as, I don't want to say pre-programmed, or maybe the people are not as trained, so to speak, as maybe the WWE matches. You know what I mean? To me, it seems like it was very organic, and I guess. Do you think so? So this is a two-parter. Do you think that the chant was kind of because of Brody King? Um, but that doesn't take away from the moment. You know what I mean? Because Brody King is kind of bringing awareness of that to that platform. And then the second part is the free speech element of it. I was reading, I don't know where I was reading. I think it was an AEW superstar or some sort of wrestler in a different promotion. And I guess there was a conversation or chatter about him crossing over to, what do they call it? To the Fed.
mhm.
One of the things this person said is like, look, like I'm going to lose a little creativity and shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to lose, people are going to tell me what to do. Do you think that's also part of it? I think it piggybacks to what you said about people being able to say what they want. You know what I mean? So yeah, the first parter was it the Brody King element and him bringing awareness of this to this platform, and then the second part. Go ahead.
Well, I think that's Brody King is taking the opportunity to really like step up to the moment and be like, hey, bro, like I'm gonna you know use my wrestling, my platform, my gimmick to make something overtly political, when wrestling already does that in other ways. And so I think a lot of the credit has to go to Brody King because it takes balls, it takes a lot of courage to step in and to make a statement like that, in your privilege as a white man. And I actually really liked his statement. It was let me see, I have a screenshot here, but I think that is the biggest thing is he said that I came from a punk rock hardcore background. That stuff is normal in our world. Speaking on injustice is important to me. I appreciate that I work for a company that allows us to have our own voice, whether I ask for it or not. Thank you, Tony. That's the owner, Tony Khan. Using your platform for good or to help in any capacity is the right thing to do, he said. And so I think it's both Brody King, but it's also like the promotion, bro. Like a lot of wrestlers outside of the article that you read, really talk about the differences between AEW or even outside of WWE, other promotions, and how like it kind of stagnates people. Like we've check out our videos on YouTube. How we talked about like different NXT stars or different global stars, like Shinsuke Nakamura, who have crossed over and just didn't do too well. So I think that's kind of super important to keep in mind. And then shout out our people, bro. Like we know what it is here at Small Package Wrestling. Fucking abolish ice, fuck ice, all of that stuff. But that said, I think it's cool that like AEW allows Brody King, but they didn't just allow Brody King. They also allow like other wrestlers like Hangman Adam Page, who apparently has come out in like LGBTQ plus like representative gear. And so like Tony Khan has also like made statements about that. So I think that's fucking cool. As opposed to WWE, who's like we know what they're doing in terms of like and what they've done in the past in terms of racial stuff. And so like I think it's cool to see that in a different wrestling promotion. And I think that's why I got so much traction online, bro. Like it's different. You don't usually see that organicness like in that way, like especially not in WWE or the Fed as we call it. So that shit got me fired up. I know it got a lot of wrestling fans fired up. And we as a wrestling podcast had to do our due diligence and talk about this shit and cover it in its time. So Brody King, shout out, bro. Huge shout out to you, bro. Like I appreciate you for doing that, but also MJF, bro, for standing on business after the fact. That fool said also in line that he's glad that he works for AEW, where organic chance like that could happen. But he also said the other day, like, if like he's been making overtly political statements, which I think a WWE wrestler would never do. So it's cool to see the champion, they have the face of another promotion, say like, if fuck pedophiles, like, it's not cool to be anti-Semitic, like shit like that. It's cool to see that. And that's for me what a wrestler and what a champion of a company really should be.
So I think that this also happened in Las Vegas. Like this didn't
Hmm.
happen in like Minneapolis. This didn't happen in the East Coast. This didn't happen anywhere like that. This happened hundreds, if not 1,000 miles away. And so I thought that was pretty cool. And I think I don't know if I think is I wonder if that's the tweet that you read. I don't know if I'm misremembering. But one guy said, "No, like this is what I meant," you know? Like I don't know, like I'm down with it or I wasn't scared or something like that. So hopefully we can find that clip and hopefully I'm remembering correctly. And hopefully we can find that clip. I think that and this is the question that I have. Um and I lost it. But like the fans, but I before I pivot to that, I want to say something about where where one company stands, where one promotion stands, and where the other stands. And I think WWE has been pretty clear. You know, Linda McMahon, even though her husband is no longer a part of of the company of the promotion, I mean, she's working for Donald Trump in his cabinet, Secretary of Education, and she's trying to do stuff that a lot of people don't agree with. And then Triple H has been to the White House several times, right? And so we know that he can say that he's not doesn't align with it or whatever. Maybe he doesn't have to, but it clearly sends a message to people. And so that's point number one. And then point number two about the fans, about wrestling fans. What do you think? And I don't know if I want to make this more of a question as more of a statement. When I took Alexa to the wrestling match, as she calls it at Raw, there was little girls, there was little boys, there was show it, fool, show the
God,
shirt.
fucking Penta, straight from fucking Mexico. Shout out my tío Peace, bro. Fucking cero miedo. Brody King had cero fucking miedo that day. That's all I'm saying. AEW, cero miedo. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. So like, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is like, what does that say about wrestling fans? You know, because sometimes like football fans, they could be kind of meatheads, a little more conservative, right? Um, Wrestling owners, just I felt like, and and maybe I want to believe this, but I feel like I don't know, man. You know, like wrestling fans are maybe not who we think they are, what we want them to believe, you know? Like what people want to believe. Like maybe they're conscious, thinking, feeling, considerate, thoughtful people, right? That even though they like putazos, they like a little bit of violence, right? And they like aggression and they like power and strength and stuff like that. They also like doing the right thing, right? And standing on the right side of things. Um, would you, and I guess I'm having a difficult time turning it over to you in that regard without asking you a question. But does that make sense? Like, would I be off in thinking that way?
No, well, you know what? Like, to be frank, and appreciate the shout out, Mikey, our boy. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, straight from the motherland, bro. But like I think to me it shows another layer to wrestling fans that if you're kind of within the community in some way, like you kind of understand. And to tie it back and to do fucking self promo, like there's an art to wrestling. There's a beauty behind it, and I think what we saw in Las Vegas at AEW and what we, see when those organic moments happen is the art form of it. Is that you get to see this wrestling, this live, but the people that are in that crowd are also part of that performance. And so like it encaptures the context of where they are, and in this case it captures the political landscape in which we're living, which to me makes that performance, that art form, that much more impactful. And so I think that that's kind of a lost thing when people look at wrestling, and when people say, "Oh, do you know that's fake?" or "Oh, like you like wrestling?" Like, doy. Number one, I know it's fake, and fuck yeah, I like wrestling. And even though like it goes against against some preconceived notions of what you might think I am, as whatever I am in my personal life, I to the core of what I am and to the core of what wrestling is I think that wrestling is a babyface and a heel going at it, and at the end of it, you want to see the hero win. You want to see them lift the championship, get their hand raised, and that's what we all like when we go into storytelling. When you go into English class, you read about the hero's journey and all of that stuff. That's what wrestling is, and that's what that art form is. And some of us have grown up watching this, and from the very beginning, like all three of us in the small package wrestling. So when you truly see something like this, where it's like it touches here, like that's what makes wrestling beautiful. Is those organic crowd moments, these organic wrestlers that come out against all odds. This white guy who you would think that if you see him on the street, I'm like, bro, no way. I think he's a fucking ride or die fucking ally, but he's the guy that will fucking come out on an abolished ice fucking t-shirt in the fucking crowd of thousands of people. Like, that takes some fucking balls. And like, what other platform can you see that in than wrestling? I mean, Bad Bunny did it, other things, and all of that stuff. But shout out to wrestling for allowing that shit.
I think that the demographics of wrestling, I'm not familiar, but I don't know, it's males 18 to 30, whatever, 40 or 50. And those were the people that were kind of going and leaning towards the Cheeto Jesus, and um, now we have arenas, now we have arenas and stadiums, at the Super Bowl celebration or a final championship game, talking about unity. And I think it's kind of it's kind of weird. It shouldn't take balls to stand up and say, "Hey, respect the Constitution and shit." You know, like, hey, like, do not violate the constitutional rights of persons in this country, because the Constitution applies. The Constitution applies to persons. It protects persons. So the Constitution is a document, and it's a restraint. It's a restraint on government actions. Okay, it tells the government not what they can do, but what it does, but it also tells them what they can't do, right? And that's the whole purpose of them. And to me, it shouldn't take the right thing to do is the right thing to do, right? It shouldn't be that difficult to say, you know what, that's fucked up. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be fucking scaring the shit out of people. Like it shouldn't take that. It shouldn't take balls. It shouldn't be that difficult. It shouldn't be that risky, right? It shouldn't necessarily mean career suicide for a person to say, hey, that's fucked up. That's illegal. That shit that's going on out there, I don't agree with it. I think it's wrong, right? And I oppose that because it's just ridiculous. This is the question I want to ask. Do you think Triple H or the Fed would approve of somebody wearing a fuck ice or abolish ice merchandise?
Absolutely not, not in a billion years. They absolutely would not. You know, shout out my boy, bro. He's out here preaching. Shout out Mikey. Shout out Gweck for letting the people know. But no, I don't think they wouldn't. And I like what you said that it shouldn't ha be a situation of having the balls to have common decency and look at your fellow man as human. And so I don't think WWE has that common decency to do that. And I think that's why I will always be very critical of bullshit like El Grande Americano, who I'm gonna have to see in WrestleMania again, when they could easily put other wrestlers and other things on television on a big platform that matter and that don't make a mockery of the culture that's currently being attacked, right? You know, so I think, you know, that's where WWE is sorely lacking in comparison to AEW, is not giving the wrestlers the opportunity to fucking say what they want. I think The Rock's daughter actually just got let go from NXT. I might be speaking out of turn. I'm not sure if that's why got let go, but she left NXT, and then she immediately tweeted "fuck ice," like all of that shit, and then was like, you know, I'm glad to be able to say that now. You know, like you don't have to be a fucking have a PhD to read in between the lines to say that, you know, probably wrestlers in WWE are not encouraged to say anything right now. And I know, you know, many people across all kinds of walks of life are currently facing that type of censorship in their fucking workplaces. So fuck the Fed, WWE for doing that shit. But we're gonna still fucking cover you guys because fuck it, bro. We have a podcast to fucking do. And we like to talk shit, bro.
We're
And we
committed
like
or what?
and we're fucking committed, bro. Look, we talked about this already, like, about our moral fucking dilemma, but we're just gonna fucking do it. We have to cover it. It's just no fucking. It's either that or fucking bitches like Logan Paul will fucking cover it, and we'd rather fucking, you know,
and,
cover
and,
that
and you know,
shit.
like, I don't know, man. That guy, I don't even want to. Maybe I should start a different podcast, you know. But that guy, I wish we wouldn't give dumbasses platforms, you know. Like
It,
I just
when there's guys like Brody King, right, that have, you know,
like
other platforms.
it's so like, but I think that yeah, one of the things that I disagree with is that these wrestlers don't feel the freedom to speak their minds, right? And they feel like it's a risk for them to come out and say, you know, abolish ICE, right? It's pretty insane. But I did want to ask, so how many matches were there? I have one, Brody King versus MJF, Andrade versus Kenny Omega, Mega Bad, which I like the name, Babes of Wrath,
No, no, well,
Ricochet, huh?
continue, count them off. I
And
just
then
got
Ricochet,
excited.
and then there was another one? Was there another? Was there only four?
So we got MJF, Andrade, Ricochet, the Babes of Wrath, and I believe it might have been a 3v3 tag match with the Death Riders.
Mm.
But
So
so
that's yes. Go ahead.
the reason why I got excited is because I think you would really, really like AEW because it's all just balls to the wall wrestling, like not really a lot of promos.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, so like it was a fun watch. I sat down and just enjoyed that shit.
So before we pivot on off of that, I want to shout out Brody King. Brody King, we appreciate you, boss. We respect what you've been doing. We respect how you stand on business. And on behalf of Small Package Wrestling and on behalf of me, you have fans in us. You have a fan in me, and I will always root for you. So we look We look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks here. We're gonna be going to the next AEW show here in Sacramento, right? So shout out Brody King. We're gonna be rooting for you, my guy. We're gonna be rooting for you. We're gonna be screaming the loudest, and we're gonna be really pulling for you. All right, for your continued success. So shout out. It means a hell of a lot to us. Um, Aaron, I don't even.
One last
I'm
time,
almost.
fuck
I'm almost.
ice, fuck everyone, fucking we outside.
We
Aaron,
out here.
on that fucking note, Aaron says I love promos.
Okay, hold on. Okay,
And
and Aaron's not here. Okay, I knew it. I knew it. But look, hold on.
yeah.
Okay, how long is an AEW match show? How long is it?
I think it was like 2 hours. I'm not sure.
Okay,
I can't be
two
wrong.
hours. 2 hours, and we got 2, 3, 4, 5 matches at
Uh,
least. At least.
like my heart's pumping. Like I'm fresh off of watching last week's, and like it was exhilarating. I enjoyed it.
So, and I want to come back to Andrade because
Mm.
what did you guys call
I mean, we
yourselves?
had to talk about him.
Well, so let's go. No, but what did you guys call him? Like you wanted to join the Andrade fan club? What did you call it?
Okay, so this is look again. I when I say things like this, I am quoting the internet. I am not. This is not what I said. But the
Nah, but
original,
nah. Take
uh,
agency.
the comment thread that I had seen, it was Andrade's Study Club. But then I took agency and I said the Baddie Club because I feel like it's a little bit more inclusive. Like I don't know.
Yeah, we're inclusive. Yeah, that's right.
Uh, but so yeah, that's Andrade's situation. Is he's got a fan club, and they enjoy him. Yeah, but I think within all of that,
He has a fan club and they enjoy him.
they do. Like I don't know what else to say. Like motherfucker hits the most beautiful tornillo you'll ever see, and then like he fucking moves his body to the shot,
On his
and then
body
like he
to the side,
and then
and
and then
that's
he
how.
poses with the fan club, and, and they're like caressing him, like and it's like mutual, like it's not nothing creepy, like it's not nothing like like they are fans, they're enjoyers of Andrade, and Andrade is allowing them to enjoy him, and it's like the El
That-
Ídolo, the name, like it's finally make like they are analyzing him and the definition, of the fucking word. But I think that's what makes yeah, exactly. And I think what makes it is that, like, he's just so fucking good in the ring, and it makes me, like, down the rat, part of the baddie club. Like, AEW, we emailed you guys, can we be a part of the baddie club? Can we, Swap Package Wrestling, continue to be part of the Andrade baddie club? Please. I he's a spectacular fucking in-ring. What was that?
we want to enjoy him, right?
Like, we do. Front row.
So this guy's been putting in work, huh? This guy's been putting in work over in AEW, it sounds like. And it sounds like it was a number one contender match. What was it?
So they've been having a tournament for the number one contendership. So it was Andrade versus Kenny Omega. Andrade had just been Swerve Strickland. But so the winner of this match was gonna go on to AEW Grand Slam, which is this weekend on Saturday in Australia.
Mm,
And it's he's gonna face Adam Hangman Page. So it's going to be Andrade versus Hangman for the number one contendership, and they're going to face the winner of Brody King and MJF, who's also going to be in the card this weekend. So since like we are covering since Brody King slept, MJF, he's going to be facing him for the championship. So Andrade or Hangman will face whoever wins that match.
okay.
But Kenny Omega, I didn't realize this going into him, but he's Canadian. So this was a international fucking showcase, shout out. It was the Canadian versus Mexican fucking battle. And apparently he's an older guy who's like fucking legendary, and he's trying to put these younger guys over. So maybe this is a little like pushing the tush push since it was Super Bowl week for Andrade. Fucking, just to get over a little bit. And then
Omega is only 42, so he's not that. He's
oh,
okay.
so in WWE, he'd be a spry fucking young guy. They'd be like someone that they're fucking like barely pushing and shit.
He'd still get like 10
Um,
years to be the champion, but
fucking exactly. But so the outcome of this match was that fucking Swerve came out to try to help out Kenny. And then fucking Andrade low blowed fucking Kenny Omega
what?
and then took the dub. But that started a feud with Kenny Omega and Swerve, and they're actually gonna throw hands and sack this upcoming Wednesday. So
So
hopefully
so
that's
what?
gonna be a big.
Then
No, what was the question?
so what's the card for for Sacramento? Let me look it up. Okay.
I only know that one for now.
Or has it not
But
been? Has it been
I'm sure it
like?
has, but I haven't watched this today's show for Collision or not Collision, not Dynamite yet. But this uh Kenny Omega is strapping. Yes.
What
This
does that
is
mean? What does that mean,
shut
Harry?
off from down. It's a strapping robust 42-year-old.
Yeah.
Um
Okay. All right.
S so, I got that one from George R. Martin. If you ever read one of his books, he uses the words robust and lusty to describe babies, and I'm like, "Okay," like, anyways, I don't know w if
Robust.
yeah, um, but so, the other cool thing about AEW is that they have a lot of championships. There was this recent switch with Ciampa, actually tonight. So Tommaso Ciampa, the guy that went from WWE to AEW, won the TNT championship, and then he just lost it tonight to fucking Kyle Fletcher, which I fucking haven't watched, but um, yeah, bro. What are your fucking thoughts on Andrade? Fill us in, bro. Have you fucking been able to tap in? Are you part of the baddie club?
No, no, no. I'm not part of the baddie club. I haven't really been. I haven't watched it, and it's not for a lack of trying. Whenever I do have free time, I watch WWE and I watch Triple A.
Triple A.
Yeah, so that's who I watch for the most part. Um, but I am interested in watching him. I actually watched the match that you guys are referring to a couple of weeks ago, where he was like, I forget, there's like a term that you guys used when he like is beating the crap out of somebody and he wants to pin them and then he stops. Like, what do you call that?
Squashing?
Yeah, yeah. So I watched that and I thought that was a good match. Um, but yeah, man, I'm excited to go. We'll be there. We'll be there. Small Package Wrestling will be there. We're gonna be rocking our shirts, our gear. Come and say hi. Come and shake our hands. This guy's already been recognized several times. He's officially a podcaster. Yeah, man, come and shake hands and say what's up, and we can talk wrestling. And I can tell you guys all about why promos suck, which is a good pivot point. This was in this show. There was at least 5 matches, right? I was watching Monday Night Raw the other day. We were an hour and 15 minutes in, and there had only been 2 matches, just 2. The rest had been promos and shit, and CM Punk and Paul Heyman, and guys, I can't do it anymore.
Look, I know what'll cheer you up. If you're just part of the Andrade baddie club in AEW, you'll be okay.
I'll
You
be all right.
will be okay. You will be fine.
I can't do it, man. So I'm looking forward to AEW. I can't understand promos. I don't. It's like the promos have swallowed. They'd become a bigger part of wrestling than wrestling in WWE, and I feel like the more I watch it, the less the worse it gets. The worse it gets. And so right now, I don't want to say I'm at my wit's end, but it's becoming unwatchable for me. WWE is becoming unwatchable for me because of that, because of just, and I want you guys in the chat to tap in. Let me know what you guys think. Is it just me? Am I wrong? Can you do a poll here? You know, is Gwex wrong for being an opponent of promos? I don't know, man. I can't handle this shit. I can't.
And then Aaron just holding it
Oh my
down for the opposite
god.
side. He said, "I wish the whole episode was promos." Um,
I don't
and you
like
know
you guys.
what?
Like,
I
oh, it's gonna
yeah,
build a matchup. Oh, no, it doesn't. It's gonna build a matchup to 450-year-olds fucking botching power bombs like Gunther. Like, is that what the fuck I want to watch? Like a really bad match? Like, because I'm watching Triple A. I'm watching a little bit of Consejo Mundial. I'm trying to watch AEW. These guys can go, and then I watch these fucking guys after watching promos all day, and it's like I can't. I can't. It doesn't. The promo hype doesn't justify the actual product. The actual product is wrestling. This is
I
called
look.
small package wrestling, not small package promos. Okay.
Look, I would just say that I think all three of us could cut a better promo than like 90% of the wrestlers in WWE. But that's just me. But I will also say that I think that we can also book a better storyline than what's going on in WWE. Um, and then, like, look, Aaron agrees. He says, "I hate promos." Proceeds to start the pod with the promo. We cut good promos. Look, WWE, leave the promos to small package wrestling. Okay, leave it to us. We'll do the talking. Or you guys do the wrestling. But I actually, you come. What do I? And I see the Reddit. I see like some Reddit talk and chatters and comments about back in like the golden era of wrestling, the Hulk Hogan and the Randy Savage and like the Jake the Snakes type things. Like there was even Ric Flair, there was like kind of like an ad lib. And outside of their fucking how they are as people, I'm just talking about like the fucking production value of like what WWE does now. Do you think it is too formulaic? Do you think it is too scripted compared to what you grew up watching? Because I didn't grow up watching that shit. Like I just have watched videos of guy fucking Macho Man be like, "Ooh, I'm the cream of the fucking crop," and then like fucking coming out with that fucking shit. Like, do you think that's missing? Is my question?
I think that I think that when you make a promo from 3 minutes to 15 to 10 to 20, it just increases the chances of more botches, more scripts, right? And I think there's a little less of the personality of each wrestler coming up. You know what I mean? Because they're reading from a script, and so you get a little less of that AEW raw, organic. You know what I mean? Like straight up shit. You know what I mean? Whereas with these guys, they just kind of lose. They lose a little bit of personality, like that post I was referring to earlier. This person was saying, "Hey, I might go over there, and it sucks because I'm going to lose a little bit of the freedom." Right? And I felt like maybe back then they had a little bit more freedom, although I don't know, especially with Vince. But it just felt the promos were shorter. They were to the point. They were more, you know what I mean? It's just, but to me, I can't watch these fucking 20 long promos. I can't watch another Raw where we're going to have a guy come out, start talking for 10 minutes, only to get interrupted again by the fucking same guy, and then have them talk to each other for 10 minutes and then nothing happened and then leave. And then watch another promo and then another promo and then finally watch a match and then two more promos and then another match.
I agree with you. It's rough. It's
Here's your
fucking
drill.
rough. Let's highlight that one more time. And a shout out, Mikey.
Hey,
I, you
and
know,
it looks like 35, so all good.
um, look, bro, but I'm inclined. Yeah, I'm actually closer to your perspective than I think you would imagine. And I think that's why I've been enjoying our dive into other wrestling promotions so much. Because like I was getting tired of the Monday Night Raws and the SmackDowns. Like a year or two ago, I was a religious watcher, and honestly, now I'm not. And there's a lot of criticism now that says that WWE is more about like the social media moments. They like just try to get little like snapshots and like things that people will repost. And a lot of the fucking show is like filler. You know when you remember when we used to watch Dragon Ball in the office? And then we would just watch episodes and you're like, "What the fuck is this? Like, what are we watching?" I feel like that's what WWE is a lot of the fucking time, bro. Like, why? Why are we doing this? Like, it's just outdated. out of taste, like, like a 12-year-old. Or you know what? I'm not gonna make this joke. Some guy in the press conference room is just thought this was hilarious and got to be like to be approved. And thought that CM Punk and Roman Reigns should cut an hour-long promo, which to cover back to WWE, a lot of people online are happy about this feud and Roman Reigns and CM Punk in that promo that you cut. So I take it that not you, sorry, but that was a Freudian slip. Fucking what how do you feel about the CM Punk and the Roman Reigns like matchup
Watch the
that you weren't
promos.
impressed?
I
You're
didn't see
not
the
you,
promo.
you
I'm not gonna watch it. I skipped it. Okay, well, fuck it. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna watch him. Oh my!
oh, outside okay
I can't watch a fucking promo, bro. I can't.
outside
I
of the
refuse.
promo, uh, do you
This
think
is the
it has
Constitution
the
of Rex, and it says that he can't watch fucking promos, bro.
promos are on the list or what?
They're number 1, 2, and 3. I mean, I I do want to say that in watching the Royal Rumble, I thought that Roman Reigns was head and shoulders above everyone in that ring in terms of just presence. Because as soon as he got on that ring, got in that ring, all eyes were on him always, 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 always. Even though there were other superstars in that ring with him, all eyes were on him, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. And seeing and you guys have hyped him up, and you guys talk very well about him, about his performance in the ring. That I'm interested in seeing him. CM Punk, bro. CM Punk, he's just not it. He's just not it, bro. I don't want. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and CM
Cinema.
Punk is not
Yeah.
cinema. CM Punk is like, I don't know what CM Punk is, bro. He's like Vines. Y'all remember Vines? That might have been cool like 20 years ago. That's CM Punk. That's
Uh,
CM Punk. He's
hey,
he's a Vine, bro.
sh fat shout out to Vines, bro. Like, I realized I was old when I tried to describe what Vines were, and they just
Where
didn't
y'all
understand. I was like, "Yeah, it's the precursor to Reels." I didn't know what Reels was. Look, now that Imma come clean, bro. We do this regularly, but when I first hopped on social media, I was like, "What the fuck is a reel?" So shout out fucking CM Punk and Waddle's promos. So you don't think cinema? You're not a fan of this fucking of this buildup. I think that's a fair assessment though. I think
Oh
Roman
my. Okay.
Reigns.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like the buildup is not is has led me to disappointment. The buildup for other matches, like it
Like, just
doesn't it
the
does.
WWE stuff, in general, like how they build up. You see, they're defending you, hating on your twin is crazy works. Like, I'm
Oh,
not a fan of this
diabolical.
diabolical. I can't I we can't stand for the self-hatred, like, we want you to love yourself, you
Loathing or
know? Yeah, bro.
self
We
abusement.
I mean, it's not okay, but we the people are fans of CM Punk, and we think
Oh, oh,
that we
in 30 in 45 seconds, tell me what's good about CM Punk. Chat. Tell me what's good about CM Punk. That besides the mic.
look.
I'll give you all the mic credits that you want.
He was a Brody King type wrestler
Not was.
before.
What is he now?
He's still. He's like if Brody King got a haircut and like still retained his like like
It's like Brody King got a haircut and fucking doesn't do it anymore.
still
Like,
retained his like.
so like, what can you tell me about CM Punk? Chat. What can you guys tell me about CM Punk? Not the mic shit. What can you tell me
I
about
think
him?
I just before the chat hops in is I think he was this counterculture person, contrary to what WWE usually pushes. He was small, he was this underdog, and how like Daniel Bryan was like this organic like push that like they kind of made like WWE push him, and Aaron said everything. CM Punk was this like indie darling before he got to WWE. Yeah, and so his legacy is riding high, and then right now we got Mikey. He's the champ, and like I don't know. I would say that he's making that championship interesting. But I would say that I would agree in the sentiment that he is really riding off of the legacy of his past. And like hopefully he could have a banger again in WrestleMania. That's to say that he did have a really good match last year against Seth Rollins and CM in Roman Reigns in the main event. So
Mhm.
I
Okay.
think, he has the potential to still have a good match, but I do agree that the buildup of just how the promos are just kind of is like, man, like I have no incentive to tune in weekly television, do I think that Finn Balor is gonna beat CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship? Absolutely not. They don't have the balls to do it, and I do you think like that's something that WWE would do is, CM Punk is feuding with this guy and they're not you don't think so?
I think I can give it to Finn. And I think Finn would be better than CM Punk in the ring. Because I watch wrestling for the wrestling. And the wrestling is important to me. And skill is important to me. And even if you don't have the skill, at least put on a good show. And to me, like the promo stuff is the supplement. It's supposed to add a little bit of extra oomph. It's the sazon, bateria, y reggaeton. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of that. It's this. But now that the promo has become the main dish almost, and that just bothers me. Aaron, you're a jerk. Aaron's a jerk, bro. Post that
This
shit.
one,
Post it right now.
I mi I missed that one. Oh, I completely missed this one. Why does Gweck look like
MVP. I'm the MVP of small package wrestling. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you.
well, you should be like honored, bro. Like we give you only like people in the highest positions in what they're doing. The world heavyweight champion, fucking the MVP. I don't know. These aren't insults. These are
Y'all
compliments
always
here.
criticating me, fool. Y'all are criticating
Yeah,
me. Shout out my what's it?
it'd be different if we're like you look like the guy from El Fua video or something. You get what I mean? Like we're saying you look like guy stunners. Fucking
When was
and
this?
Aaron said this is like a year ago, maybe two. I don't know. It's when we started small package wrestling. Um, this was the match that where I drunk texted Aaron, and I was like, "We gotta start the fucking podcast." I took
Now
a few
for the record,
notations.
fool. So for the record, all these pisito fools are flaming me, and I'm supposed to be the bigger bully, the big carrilludo guy, and all you fools are fucking flaming me. Just for the record, okay? Y'all are just as bad as me. Y'all are just as bad as me. Y'all just pretend you're not.
I don't think this
You
is
see?
flaming. Look, I think, yeah, like I think.
Hey,
I
y'all are
think this
bullies,
is
fool.
like embracing you with love and cariño and respect. The thing is, we respect our older brother and our older cousin and all of that. So we're hailing you with it's not like we're saying you look like Gunther. Imagine
Yeah,
we're like, oh, this one looks like Gunther. Like, no, like, bro, we're saying you look like Matt Stafford and CM Punk. They're good looking fellas.
you know what's happening right now? All these pisito fools are laughing. Mikey's giggling, Aaron's giggling. I bet you they're like, I bet you. Well, look at you. Look at you. Like,
Is
y'all are
it the
bullies.
art of
Y'all
wrestling?
don't say y'all can't say I'm a bully anymore. You can't.
See, this is the art of wrestling. It's generational fucking yeah, the art of the fucking rib for what they call it. And then yeah, and you could hear our laughs. The fucking Guerrero Pisito fucking hyena laughs are not gonna be stopped. Exactly. Are not gonna be stopped. Fucking Riverside is just the tool to allow these fucking laughs to fucking happen.
So the world is like now finally getting a glimpse of it.
You see, like we're not gonna apologize. You know what? I'm not gonna apologize. And look, we are just loving you, brother. I like
All
and
right.
selling you that you're a handsome, good-looking fella. You know,
And to
we
be
are
well
wholes
spoken.
exactly. We're wholesome people here in small package wrestling. This is a wholesome community. Fucking so you were out of the what you saw in this most recent Monday Night Raw, what would you rate it? How many small packages?
One.
It's like,
One.
seriously,
One.
neta? Just
Yeah,
straight
neta.
up?
Chile, al Chile.
Uh,
I thought the match between what's his name? I always forget. I want to call him Jair Evans, but it's not.
Javon.
Javon?
Yeah, I believe
I,
it's
I
Javon. I might be
I like
mispronouncing
him.
it, but
And he had a match against El Chaparro Americano, which is the original Grande Americano. I think it was that, and against another Americano, and they had a spot where they jumped from one of the corner from the top of the turnbuckle here to the top of the turnbuckle here, and it was a fucking. I showed it to my dad, and my dad was like, "What the fuck? Oh, my dad." Oh.
yeah.
It was a good spot. I thought that was a really good match, but the rest, man, it's just there's just so much crap. There's just like it's like walking through mud and shit, with this shit. The what is it? What PLE's coming up? The Elimination
Elimination
Chamber.
Chamber.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
and bro,
when is
I'm
that?
glad you mentioned that spot. Oh, I just wanted to shout out that fucking cutter, bro. That
That
mwah,
shit was
fucking chef's kiss, bro. Ah, that shit was beautiful. That's wrestling. And it's not I don't think it's a mistake that those guys are triple A guys, all of them, right? They had been showing up in those fucking shows. But we're gonna what was Elimination Chamber coming up. What is Elimination Chamber you're gonna ask?
February 28th in
Yeah.
Chicago. So we have CM Punk versus Finn Balor. We
Mhm.
have Randy Orton versus LA Knight. That's a chamber match. So there's two people already in there. There's Becky Lynch, the man, and AJ Lee. There's Rhea Ripley, Tiff Stratton, and so far in the Elimination Chamber, and the Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu. But I wanted to ask you guys, like, once you win the Elimination Chamber, like, what happens here?
It's
Like,
essentially like the Royal Rumble. So it gives you a shot at the other World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. And so if you win it, you get an opportunity to win a World Heavyweight Championship.
so
And
that's the Drew McIntyre one.
no, that's the one with Randy and LA Knight. But yeah, oh well, the championship. Yeah, yep, that they would challenge for Drew McIntyre's championship.
So what do you think? So what do you think of LA Knight? I mean, do you think he should get a push? I mean, would you be opposed to say LA Knight holding a title or getting another title push?
I would be all for it. I absolutely do not think they're gonna do it.
Damn.
I think yeah. I think that if there's a person that's gonna win that match, it's Randy Orton. With the high possibility of him having a main event shot at that championship with a triple threat with Drew, Cody, or if Cody wins it back in some way or some aspect. So I think that that's what's going to happen. I don't see Triple H putting it on someone new. I see them just kind of reverting back to guys like Roman Reigns and Randy Orton and giving them the opportunity to fucking do it and run it back at the main event. So I think that's what they're gonna do. I don't really trust Triple H to fucking do something out of
Do something
the
good.
blue. Yeah, no. Which I think Randy kind of deserves it, but also it just kind of goes in line that they're not really like interested in producing like pushing young talent. They're gonna push, like these older guys. So I think that's kind of the situation, and I'm kind of more interested for the women's elimination chamber. I think that's like gonna be like an open field, and I think Rhea Ripley has a good shot, hopefully, of winning it. I think it'll be a banger.
So there are two more triple threat qualifying matches for the women, I believe, or two. Alexa Bliss versus Julia. Oh no, three. No, Alexa Bliss, Julia versus Lena Vega, and Azuka Bailey versus Natty. Shout out Bailey, our fellow East Side San Jose. No, I don't know if she's East Side, but she went to Independent, so maybe.
She
Yeah.
went to
So
independent. So.
yeah. So and then there's two more triple threat qualifying matches. Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu versus Sami Zayn. I like Sami Zayn, but I don't know. Gunther versus Dominic Mysterio versus Javion Evans. I mean, what do you think of your boy? I mean, he still has two belts. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be interesting. I mean, he's gonna be in the running for a third belt, I guess. I don't want to see Gunther, bro. I don't want to see Gunther. And then maybe you're right. You know, maybe I have a little bit of Cody Rhodes. I guess I can call them these old heads or these fucking, I don't know what to call them, but like a little bit of fatigue, you know, with these fucking guys. Um, but yeah, I mean, who would you?
I don't know. Got chat. How do you guys feel?
I can't
You
believe
know,
you. Fool.
just it's just.
I
I don't
can't-
know. I think this is a compliment. I think this one is like, yeah, it really says it. The backwards hat. I think y'all might even be wearing the same hat.
Y'all are assholes, bro.
You see, I don't know if you look like Lions, like fucking Matt Stafford. I think you look more like
I got, I gotta turn this shit around, bro. Y'all are
like
fucking jerk.
Rams. No, well, there's a forward one too. See, right there.
Yeah.
But fucking shout
So
out
I
fucking Matt
didn't even ask
Stafford.
you to defend me. What?
I said shout out Matt Stafford, bro. Fucking the crossover.
Who knew he was a wrestling fan?
Facts, bro. Aaron said, "I hope Gunther wins."
No more.
I
You
don't even
want to
want.
take care of this?
I don't even want to spend time on that, man.
I like how you put your hands together first.
I like look. I don't even. Uh, no, yeah. You see,
If I can put you see, fool, y'all are fools, fool. I'm not gonna wear a
it,
hat anymore. Y'all are bullies,
well,
fool.
it's a compliment. We love you. Otto. We love you. We're trying to make sure you see that.
At
Uh,
least, Seoul had a fucking. Last time he called Aaron a 40-year-old, so at least he's consistent.
you know,
You got more notes somewhere?
yeah, I do, bro. AEW. If y'all look, this is a perfect example how invested we are in this new AEW stuff. And then you want to see my WWE notes? Absolutely.
I'm, I'm feeling self-conscious, bro. I don't-
You know, you shouldn't. These are all compliments. These are all compliments. Like you should like tell people about these. Like like hey, like how
CM
people say
Punk
like oh
fucking
how they proudly say who's your like celebrity doppelganger. That should be you. Like you should use these. To as your icebreaker when you like go to a community meeting or something. Okay, but
this guy like
I have questions for you. Do you wait, and then one more. This is
hey, you see, we're talking fools, so y'all are bullies,
the
bro.
Timu version. You know what? I think we do. I think this is a good introduction to your section here. I haven't been able to tap in AAA, other than fucking just seeing Dominic pull up in a Mexico jersey, um, with his 2 championships and shit. Fill us in, bro. What happened this weekend? If you're able to tap in, or what's going on and shit. And how do you think the style of AAA compares to fucking WWE and what you watch in like Monday Night Raw and SmackDown?
I think one of the things that's affecting me right now is the fact that I'm watching AAA and I get to see the product there. And then I see these are live on Saturday on YouTube. It's free. Um, and they have two versions with two different commentaries. The English commentary with JBL, I believe it's Conan, or I don't know who it was last time, and Rey Mysterio. I haven't watched that one. I watched the Spanish commentators because the commentators add a little bit of you know what I'm saying?
The Spanish
A little bit of
commentators are fucking fantastic, bro. They had a lot of that shit. That shit's
so they
amazing.
add a lot of the flavor. Yeah. So Dominic and El Hijo de Vikingo came out. They're gonna throw hands. They had a promo. It wasn't a 40 fucking minute promo. It was just like I think like 7 minutes or 8 minutes. I kind of drifted on between watching it and not watching it. They were kind of talking shit. Eventually, they were going to. Dominic was doing his things. El luchador el más grande. Most of the shit, bro. Most of.
I got you. Do your thing. Fill us in. I got you.
So,
Our small package wrestling group chat is going off, y'all,
oh
sir.
god. Yeah. So
It's
it was the promo wasn't that bad, but I mean, El Hijo del Vikingo kind of teased something, whether they were going to make a bet, you know what I mean? Whether it was going to be on top, in addition to the belt, whether it was going to be carrera contra carrera or cabellera contra cabellera. So for the uninitiated, um, in Mexico, people wear masks, some wrestlers, and it's something that you hold on to. It's something that you have pride in. It's something that you treasure. Your ability to wear a mask and that you conceal your identity. And so wrestlers sometimes, if the beef is strong, if the beef is intense, they'll make a match, right? Mask versus mask, and the loser loses the mask, right? And if the wrestler is already unmasked, if one wrestler is already unmasked and the other one is masked, then they bet máscara contra cabellera, which means mask versus, I don't know, your hair, like shaving your hair bald. Yeah. So since both of these guys are unmasked, um, El Hijo del Vikingo teased the cabellera contra cabellera, which I am hoping Dominic puts it on the line, and I'm hoping he loses it because I think he needs to move away from Eddie Guerrero. I think he needs to move away now. He can't be riding on the Eddie Guerrero coattails anymore. At some point, he's gonna have to move away from that, and I think the time is now. Now, Omar, you like Eddie Guerrero more than no, you like Dom, but let me know if you're ready. But I do want to ask you this question. Do you think Dominic Mysterio is kind of ready? And he said,
so This is why we're cracking down. Shout out, we don't have Aaron, here in person, but we appreciate our boy. He's enjoying the small package wrestling. He likes and subscribes. This is what happens if you like and subscribe to small package wrestling. You smile, you cry, you love your fellow co-host, Gwex, you comment, you do all of those things, and you laugh.
"Hell no, this fool's fucking sick. He's sick. This fool had a fever. He had a fucking fever, and then not stopping his ass from flaming me. Y'all fools are flus, fool. Y'all fools are flus."
We gotta go to work. And we gotta go to work on this boy's behind, like Big Easy with a We
He
pulled out the
posted it and he
fucking
said that shit hella funny.
shout
Anyway,
out our
so
fucking
but Omar,
co-founder.
what do you think about Dom? Do you think now's the time for him to kind of pivot away from Eddie Guerrero and the
Well,
mullet and everything?
I actually, I didn't even think hey, shout out, man. I didn't know Matthew Stafford like fucking triple out like that. We outside. Thank you.
Estamos afuera.
Uh
Yeah. Where's the football hoop
Vamos a
ring?
fuck fucking throw that shit. Like you said, yes, sir. Shout out Aaron. But I don't know, man. I think now that I have the full context of your triple A update, shout out you for tapping in and providing that. I think they have something cooking down there to allow that to organically happen, and to give him a new gimmick, hopefully, in a way that's very like true to fucking lucha libre and shit. Like, like fucking when they lose their hair and they fucking shave that shit. Like, I think that will give triple A and lucha libre the respect that it deserves, but also not really diminish like the Dom character. Like, if you were gonna do it against fucking like a JBL, or like, I mean, he's not wrestling anymore, but against like El Grande or something, then I'd be opposed to that type of like match. But since it's against Hijo del Vikingo and it's kind of in line with like that lucha history, I think it'll be a good way to fucking transition him to having a new fucking gimmick and going away from you know like before his critique was riding the coattails of his dad and just being Rey Mysterio's son, and now like the critique is that he's just an Eddie, regen, and I think he has the potential to do something different, and I would be down if they switch it up. And like Aaron said, who brings it up, he wants the Judgment Day to be completely broken up, and maybe this is like another way to kind of change that shit too.
So like earlier during the infancy of small package wrestling, we talked about Dominic being a nepo baby, and El Duro made an appearance, and he had a few choice words for Dominic. I think that the argument can be made that nepotism got him to this point. I don't know if it's true or not, but some people may argue it. Some say, people say. But I think now is the time for him to shake away whatever benefit, whatever coattails he's been riding. Right now is the time to really do away with it and then shake away from that and really strike his own path and really make it about him now. And I want him to do that. Like I'm rooting for him to do that. And I think symbolically losing the mullet is a way to do it. I used to think that he was the Miss Elizabeth to Liv Morgan, and y'all know how that wounded me. Um, he's winning grapples now. He's winning matches, and so he's really high right now, and he doesn't need the Eddie Guerrero gimmick anymore. I don't want to say he's outgrown it, but he needs to do away with it now. And so I mean, I'll turn it back to you if you have anything to add. If not, I can go to the next two matches.
Nah, I think that, he has the potential to fucking do it, and, maybe Aaron was right, and maybe he already did, bro. Maybe he already fucking has transitioned, but, uh, I'll actually double turn it back to you and ask, do you think he's gotten past your original assessment of being the Miss Elizabeth to live? Has he thoroughly impressed you with his mega, like at being the AAA mega campeon and being the international, not international, intercontinental champion, and this run and winning at WrestleMania, all of that? Like, has he fully changed your mind enough to the point where you think he can kind of shave the mullet and be successful, or do you think that he's just
No,
a product of nepotism?
I think, like I said, I think he could have been. He could have been. The argument people could have said that he could have been the product of nepotism. The argument could have been made, but I think that after WrestleMania, that's when my opinion of him started to change when he won that match. And how he's been moving. How he's been the champ. He's gonna be the IC champ for about a year. I think is it 6 months now since WrestleMania. He lost it a little bit to Cena, and so I think he's been a good champion. I think he's been a good mega campeon. I feel like the belt hasn't been too large for him, either one. And so I would like for him to really just leave that aside, and just really be his own person now. What is that book that what does Maester Aemon say? Kill the boy, what is that? And I almost want to say that to him, like kill that, like let it go already, like do you, bro. And I don't. It's not a question for me as to whether or not he could move on and do greater things. Is that he should now. The time is now, and he should do it now because he's peaking right now. I don't want to say he's made a believer out of me, but I want to. I want him to. Okay, well at least it's
Well, that does that go to say, do you think these bigger places would be a match like fucking Dirty Dom versus Bad Bunny at WrestleMania? And to answer my own question, that shit was be badass. Like I think, to thank you, Aaron, for this. I didn't even think about this shit. Because I had saw a post, I think my friend sent it to me, about Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny. I would literally not watch that shit. Like,
I thought you were
why?
gonna say throw
Why?
up.
No, I would. I think I literally would fucking projectile vomit. But I would do the opposite of projectile vomiting if it was Dirty Dom versus Bad Bunny.
So what is
Because
the opposite? What is the opposite?
I don't know. I don't know. It's user interpretation, you know? Like I guess it's just up to whoever, the eye of the beholder. But I think that something like that would hopefully give a lot of eyeballs like onto like Dom and to just like WWE in general, because they did a feud with Bad Bunny and Damian Priest in Puerto Rico, and that was fucking badass. And so like just to see the heat like of a Dirty Dom entrance and seeing that he won the international or the intercontinental championship in that stadium a year ago. And like seeing him come out after that, and then, just seeing how hot Bad Bunny is and knowing like that he can make a badass WWE entrance, like I would want to see that shit as a fan. Aaron is fresh from being there live, so he's feeling that Benito fever, just like we all are. Shout out to him.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't listen to bad. I'll be like, "Baby, I'll be like that. Does that sounds like
You
him, right? Doesn't that sound like him?
you're gonna be that one guy. He used this platform for decency.
He did. He did. I'm not Bad Bunny, Benito. Hats off. But you still sound like that. It's a compliment.
It's he's like Future, but of reggaeton, know what I'm saying?
No, man,
Sometimes you
I
don't
had
know what he's, or like, Sean Paul, you like it, Sean Paul, sometimes fucking fools are just fools. Uh, you see, this is another one. Would you be upset if we said that you look like Benito? We
I'm not
got
upset.
Why Stafford hating, El
I'm
Conejo
not hating.
Malo,
I'm not hating.
well, I think you would be mildly impressed by Bad Bunny in the ring, bro. I look, I was a
Is
huge Bad
Logan
Bunny.
Paul good?
Dude, this is hot take of the fucking century, but I think Bad Bunny is 1,000 times a wrestler of fucking Logan Paul, and I just Bad Bunny too busy. Like Logan Paul doesn't have anything better to do than WWE. No shade to WWE, but like Benito has other shit to do, outside of fucking being a wrestler. And then maybe fucking Benito said comes through and it's
I
Stafford versus
never
Benito.
waiting this happen, Jakes. I've never waited
I
to this happen.
I think you could do it. I think you could have a 5-star match at Mania versus Bad Bunny. I would pay to see it. I that
So I'm not hating on Bernardo, or what's his name? Benito. I'm not hating on him. I'm not hating on him.
He said Bernardo.
I don't know what the fuck his name is. I had no idea. I had no idea that he's the most listened to artist in the entire world, bro. Like that's some shit. Like that's some shit. And I've heard of his songs. I've heard songs at the gym and shit like that. It's just not. I don't know. I stopped listening to reggaeton. Do you remember during our booze cruises? Like that's when my reggaeton era was then, and then I didn't listen to it anymore. So, so yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. Hey, Aaron knows ball. Can you put it back up there? The shit, the fucking Benito. I knew it. I fucking knew it.
uh, I
Senor,
almost
can we
spit
say
out
Hennessy fucking up?
fucking the list, bro. Aaron's still on the clock, bro. Aaron is still on the clock.
No, I don't want to give that fool a shout out, man. Benito or whatever the fuck his name is. Like, I didn't know that was his name, but a shout out to him, man. There was a big backlash about him coming out there, and then he fucking knocked it out of the park. And um, I think that the response, his performance was really positive and really inclusive, and somehow that bothers people, you know. But the Bible does say, for those offended, treat foreigners and aliens with kindness. That's what the Bible says. FYI, add that one to the comp.
And he did not mispronounce it, nor did he stutter. Okay, all right, just fucking saying it, and not no shade to people that stutter. Us pisitos, we struggle with stutters, bro. You know,
That's
I
what
never
it is.
understood that. You know, it's like, did he stutter? Okay, and if he did, does that take away from the fucking validity of what he was trying to say? No, it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't matter if I stuttered before I fucking said it. I still said that shit.
You still
Just
flamed your
fucking
ass.
saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I still fucking cooked you.
and dude, like I was seeing people were saying, like, hey, like, oh, we couldn't understand what the fuck he was saying. Like, you didn't understand Kendrick Lamar either, last year, and you could understand him as you had a problem with that too. Like, you just have a fucking problem, like you just have fucking issues. Like, maybe you're just a dumbass. Like, have you thought of that? Have you considered that possibility? Maybe you're just a hateful. You're just angry and everything bothers you, and you don't have to be. It takes energy to be that angry over something like this. It takes energy. It takes so much energy to be. You can't be angry all the fucking time. I mean, and some people do it. Some people manage to do it. This is how they live their lives. This is how they walk out there. You don't have to be angry all the fucking time. Ito is a fucking, I said his name right. He's an American fucking citizen, bro. He's an American citizen. And even if he wasn't, he's a fantastic fucking performer. The fucking rail says it. No es de huevo que tienes que ser culero, güey. Like you don't have to be a fucking prick. Okay.
It's okay to listen, it's okay to like Bad Bunny. I agree.
Yeah,
It's
like this is
okay to fucking be a
speak
fan, bro.
Dirty Dom, Bad Bunny at WrestleMania. I thought you guys were gonna say Dirty Dom, Stafford, and Bernardo. WrestleMania. I'm down.
This one is a card.
Yeah,
Kid
fucking
Rock
prick.
versus Benito versus Stafford at WrestleMania. I think
One
this
guy's gonna
is
lip sing, the other guy's gonna. It would have been
a
funny
kind
if
of
he would have said
promo.
Bernardo.
Wasn't there a Brazilian soccer player named Bernardo back in the day? He used
Bernardo.
to play for like Shakhtar.
Uh,
Um, yeah, bro. You see, and have it be heard here first. If you were watching the fucking alternate fucking halftime show, I don't know what to tell you, bro. You're just whack. I'll tune in. Listen to some reggaeton. Reggaeton doesn't do you no bad, bro. I promise you, it is fun. You might even dance a little bit. You might even have some fucking enjoyment. Uh, on that fucking note, I will say that's one of the cool things about AEW, and I wish WWE did more. It's like, imagine if a wrestler came out to a fucking reggaeton fucking like thing or shit like that.
I'm down,
That's what
fool.
made like fucking the Bad Bunny's entrance so cool. Like, is that he came out to his fucking actual music and shit. Like I think WWE should capitalize on how hot Bad Bunny is and give us fucking Dirty Dom versus Bad Bunny at WrestleMania. Have Bad Bunny come out and then have Dirty Dom come out in his own corrido shit. Like that. Like if y'all fucking allow Cult of Personality come out in live fucking bands. Fucking you could do it for other things. Shout out Cult of Personality and the fucking Living Color. That was a fucking badass song and an entrance and an all black fucking rock band. But we could do it more, like have Dirty Dom come out with the fucking banda fool. I don't know. Like I'm down.
I'm down. So let's finish up with triple A or AA. Um, if we can. Chat, yeah, y'all have anything else to add, chat, about Bernardo, your boy? Uh, so, so so there was a mixed tag title between Lola Vice, who I want to make a point. I think we talked about her before, and Mr. Iguana. They defeated Ethan Page and La Hiedra. La Hiedra is part of La Toxica.
Oh,
So it was a really good match. Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana are now the champions.
shit.
And yeah, Lola Vice, they beat Ethan Page and La Hiedra. You know how Lola Vice throws people into the corner and then she does a little Rikishi thing? Well,
Mhm.
fucking Lola Vice did that to La Hiedra. Ethan Page was in the corner already, and both Mr. Iguana and fucking Lola Vice, they went into the corner and they Rikishi both of them. So it's actually pretty funny. Hopefully we can link it, bro. It was a fucking spot. It was a really good match. Y'all. Okay, yeah. Hey, y'all, chat suggested. Don't say Kid Rock. Pick something from. Watch
Rage
another
Against the
promo,
Machine
and
or
then
what?
another promo, and
Oh,
then finally watch a
oh
match,
no. Okay.
and then 2 more promos,
I
and then
think
another
we're
match.
running out of time. We're at an hour 30. It was a really good match.
Then there was a elimination match for the Rey de Reyes between El Grande Americano, Dragon Lee, Octagon Jr.,
Hey,
Rey Fenix, and Rey Fenix.
like
This match was a
35,
fucking
so
banger.
all
The
good.
thing is that El Grande Americano, Ludwig, he was ambushed by Chad Gable and tied to a fucking boiler with fucking handcuffs, and it was actually not bad. And he ran in and he fought these fucking guys, and it was a fucking banger, bro. This match was a fucking banger. Dragon Lee is, I think, exceptional. He's been doing the AJ Styles finisher. Um, uh, fucking Octagon Jr. can fucking go, and y'all know Rey Fenix, bro. Y'all know the Lucha, bro. That fucking guy is really, I think, one of my favorite wrestlers right now. But El Grande, Chad Gable hung in there, bro, and he had some really good spots. There was some really good spots in there. Chad Gable ended up winning the match using this fucking metal thing in here. But then Ludwig came out. Ludwig came out and did the whole chase him around the ring, you know. But Ludwig is calling this guy a chaparro americano, which I fucking love. You know what I mean? And people were just rejecting. People rejected Hijo del Vikingo, and people were rejecting el chaparro americano. And when Ludwig came out and he had the get up with the Mexican flag, you know what I mean? The green, white, and red, and people were just loving that. So shout out Ludwig. We are not fans of the gimmick, but I think the way you're expressing and you're performing this gimmick, I think that that we like it. Yeah, but
How do you feel about, like, I saw a video, bro, of them doing, like, "Fuera, fuera" for the fucking Chaparro Americano, and then them just fucking loving fucking Ludwig Americano, like, watching that shit,
I
like,
want to see
and
promos.
having, like, we've been
I
covering
didn't
El
see the
Grande
promo. I'm not
Americano,
gonna watch it. I
this
skipped
stuff,
it.
this gimmick, like,
Okay,
since
well, fuck it.
its
You know, I'm not
inception,
gonna.
so how
I'm
do
not
you
gonna watch them.
how
Oh
do you
my.
feel about, like, it taking this turn? Do you
I
think it's
can't.
just entertaining in
I
a pure
can't watch the
wrestling
fucking promo, bro.
sense? And
I
how do you see
can't.
it ending? Do you like how would you book
I
it? I guess is my
refuse.
question.
I
This is
guess
the Constitution of
I'm
Flex,
trying
and
to
it says that
find the
he can't watch
storyline,
fucking
and
promos,
I'm
bro.
not well versed in it, and I guess I could see
The
Ludwig
number 1, 2,
having a
and
match
3.
on a storyline
I
with
mean,
the original Grande
I
Americano with El
I do
Chaparro
want to say
Americano,
that
and maybe one of them
in
getting
watching the
unmasked,
Royal
or
Rumble,
career
I
ender.
thought that Roman Reigns
I don't know
was
if there could be
head and
2 Grande
shoulders above
Americanos, you know what I
everyone
mean?
in that ring.
But
In
so
terms
far,
of
I
just
like
presence, because
Ludwig.
as
I
soon as
think
he got on that ring, got in that ring, all eyes
what's
were
his name?
on him always,
What's
always, always,
Undertaker's
always. Even though
government
there
name?
were other superstars
Mark Calloway?
in that ring with
I think
him,
Calloway
all
knows what
eyes
he
were on
has.
him, and
Hopefully
I'm
he's
looking
not as bad
forward
as
to
the
seeing
writers
him,
over in
you know,
in
and seeing and you
in
guys have hyped him up, and
WWE.
you guys
But
talk very well about
I
him,
guess I'm
about his
having a hard
performance in the
time
ring. That I'm interested.
following
I'm
the
interested
gimmick.
in
I don't
seeing
know if
him.
Chad Gable was
CM
necessary
Punk, bro.
to have
CM
him
Punk
coming.
back like that as that. They could have just had him come back as something else, but
He's
but
here
just
we are.
not
He's
it.
back.
You know, he
He's just
appeared at
not
Raw
it,
and
bro.
he appeared
Over in
I
Mexico,
don't
so he's
I
they have plans for him.
I gave him
what
the
do you
benefit
think?
of the doubt, and
I think that I'm glad that he's getting some love in
CM
Mexico,
Punk is not cinema.
Ludwig, but
CM
I
Punk
still
is
don't
like
fucking understand how fucking Chad is getting
I
cheered
don't know what
in
CM
like
Punk is,
American
bro.
crowds.
He's like
Like
Vines. Y'all remember Vines that
guys,
might have
like
been cool
how are
like
we gonna
20
like
years
this
ago?
gimmick?
That's CM
Like,
Punk. That's
you
CM
know,
Punk. He's a
I
Vine,
truly
bro.
don't know how you could look at Chad Gable's body of work as a wrestler outside of that mask and
Where
think that
y'all
you would cheer him more as El Grande Americano. I truly don't understand what the point of like enjoying wrestling or entertainment like that is, when you have alternatives and other storylines that you can tell. And I think that they really messed up by bringing Chad Gable in this gimmick again. And if they're gonna do the storyline, I think it has to end with Chad Gable being
Okay. Okay, thank
unmasked,
you.
and
I feel like
hopefully
the
going his
buildup
own way and
is not
just being allowed to be the wrestler
is has
that
led
he
me
can be.
to
Because in
disappointment.
ring, bro, like I mean, you've
The
seen it.
build
We've all
up for
seen
other
it. Like, there's
matches.
not many people that match Chad
Like
Gable
it
in the
doesn't
ring.
it doesn't
Like he's talented. And I think it's a perfect example to show like that WWE's priorities are sometimes misaligned. Like they should be pushing
Or
this guy
diabolical.
because he's such a good in-ring wrestler, not shoehorning these whack gimmicks or these little cheap political statements that they're trying to make with the Gulf of Mexico and all of this nonsense.
Clothing? No.
When they could be making other
The
statements or
stuff
spending
abuse
time on
it?
television, pushing other wrestlers. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. Although Ludwig, shout out, bro. You
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
fucking got
in 30
accepted,
in
by the
45
people.
seconds, tell
So,
me what's
what
good
can I
about
say,
CM
bro?
Punk.
You
Chat,
out here
tell
fucking
me what's
rocking
good
this,
about
and you're
CM Punk.
rocking this with pride.
Not
So I
besides the
mean,
mic.
shit, bro, you
I'll give you all the mic
can't be
credits
mad
that
at
you
you.
want.
What'd you say? He's invited to the cookout. He's invited to the carne asada when the food is looking
Carne asada.
Not
at the
was.
grill waiting to warm up.
What
And
is he
say,
now?
ahí va, compadre. Sí, la chingada. Es tu modelo. Ahí va. I don't know why that
Uh-huh.
always, that sound effect always makes me giggle, bro. Like when two
It's like
compadres are
Brody
talking
King
and
got
then
a
they have like
haircut
a
and
little,
fucking
ahí va, compadre.
Dumb
That's, sí,
Dylan.
ahí va. And it's like, it just tails off and it's like a little
So
comment.
like,
Oh, sí.
what can you tell me
Oh,
Hey,
about
look
CM
on.
how
Punk?
are you?
Chat,
Oh,
what
yeah.
can you guys tell
Oh,
me about
oh,
CM
sí,
Punk?
compadre. Sí,
Not the mic
compadre.
shit.
Sí.
What can
I
you tell me
it's
about him?
it's all about the compadres. Well, and you know what? Ludwig is a compadre. We out here, he's a
El compa
man of the
Ludwig or what?
people. El compa Ludwig, bro.
I
El
think I called him
compa
Bismarck. No, what did I call him
American.
last time?
Um, Fucking Bismarcky. And you know what? One more thank you, to Matthew Stafford of all people for taking time out of his busy
Y'all are
schedule to make
jerks.
an appearance. That's a real MVP.
You
Thank you,
see?
Gwen, for covering Triple A, your loyal
Buzzed.
coverage. It gets me excited for Lucha to be on the world stage, and hopefully they take advantage of that shit in WrestleMania. They got some highlights in the Royal Rumble, which I think was happy to see, like, La Parca and all these guys. But let's see if they make it to WrestleMania. And I don't think it's any fault of theirs. Like you've been saying, like these guys have been putting in good ass matches. I think it's up to the fucking WWE to see to slot these guys in,
Yeah.
and
So, I
get
mean, mhm.
Gunther off of my television.
All right. Anything else?
I'm good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure to fucking tune in on our
Mm,
YouTube, TikTok,
okay.
Instagram, Twitch, Reddit, Patreon. We post reels, segments. All of this stuff goes up on YouTube in various different ways. So if you missed the live, you'll catch it in other ways. Tell your people, like and subscribe. Down with ice, all the way fucking down. And that's pretty much it. Anything else for you, Quicks?
And then come look for us, guys. Come look for us, fellas, over in Sacramento on the next Wednesday. We're gonna be out there. I'm looking
I think I can
forward
give it to Finn.
to
And I think
covering
Finn
this show.
I think Finn
And
would be better than
yeah,
CM
man,
Punk
there's a lot
in
going
the
on
ring.
because
Because
there's
I
gonna be
watch
a lot
wrestling for
going
the
on. So
wrestling.
expect more
And the
content.
wrestling is important to
It's
me.
belt to ass
And
season,
skill is
right, Aaron?
important to me. And even if you don't have the
Belt to
skill, at least put
fucking
on a good show.
ass season.
And to
Y'all already
me,
know.
like the promo
Y'all
stuff
already know. Shout out fucking Aaron, our
is the
co-founder, for still
supplement.
joining us on the
It's
fucking
supposed to
chat.
add a little bit of extra
And
oomph.
we are
It's the
fucking
sazon,
out.
batería, y reggaeton. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of that.
Wrong video.
It's this, But now that the promo has become the main dish, almost, and that just bothers me. Aaron, you're a jerk. Aaron's a jerk, bro. Post that shit. Post it right now. Yeah, first of all, I'm the MVP. I'm the MVP of small package wrestling. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. Y'all always criticating me, fool. Y'all are criticating me. Shout out my what's it? Haters. When was this? Now, for the record. So for the record, all these pisito fools are flaming me, and I'm supposed to be the bigger bully, the big carrilludo guy, and all you fools are fucking flaming me. Just for the record, okay? Y'all are just as bad as me. Y'all are just as bad as me. Y'all just pretend you're not. You see? Oh, y'all are bullies, fool. You know what's happening right now? All these pisito fools are laughing. At Mikey's giggling, Aaron's giggling. I bet you they're like, I bet you. Well, look at you. Look at you. Like, y'all are bullies. Y'all don't say y'all can't say I'm a bully anymore. You can't. This is I kind of So the world is like now finally getting a glimpse of it. All right. And to me, who else but one. Yeah. Al Chile. I thought the match between what's his name? I always forget. I want to call him Jair Evans, but it's not. J I, I I like him. And he had a match against El Chaparro Americano, which is the original Grande Americano. I think it was that, and against another Americano, and they had a spot where they jumped from from the top of the turnbuckle here to the top of the turnbuckle here, and it was a fucking. I showed it to my dad, and my dad was like, "What the fuck? Oh, my dad." Oh, it was a good spot. I thought that was a really good match, but the rest, man, it's just there's just so much crap. There's just like it's like walking through mud and shit, with this shit. The what is it? What PLE's coming up? The Elimination Chamber. Yeah, so when is that? I sure it was February 28th in Chicago. So we have CM Punk versus Finn Balor. We have Randy Orton versus LA Knight. That's the chamber match. So there's two people already in there. There's Becky Lynch, the man, and AJ Lee. There's Rhea Ripley, Tiff Stratton, and so far in the Elimination Chamber, and the Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu. But I wanted to ask you guys, like, once you win the Elimination Chamber, like, what happens here? Like, so that's the Drew McIntyre one. So what do you think? So what do you think of LA Knight? I mean, do you think he should get a push? I mean, would you be opposed to say LA Knight holding a title or getting another title push? Damn, do something good. So there are two more triple threat qualifying matches for the women, I believe, or two. Alexa Bliss versus Julia. Oh no, three. Oh no, Alexa Bliss, Julia versus Lena Vega, and Azuka Bailey versus Natty. Shout out Bailey, our fellow East Side San Jose. No, I don't know if she's East Side, but she went to Independence, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, so and then there's two more triple threat qualifying matches. Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu versus Sami Zayn. I like Sami Zayn, but I don't know. Gunther versus Dominic Mysterio versus Javion Evans. I mean, what do you think of your boy? I mean, he still has two belts. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be interesting. I mean, he's gonna be in the running for a third belt, I guess. I don't want to see Gunther, bro. I don't want to see Gunther. And then maybe you're right. Maybe I have a little bit of Cody Rhodes. I guess I can call them these old heads or these fucking. I don't know what to call them, but like a little bit of fatigue, with these fucking guys. Um, but yeah, I mean, who would you? I can't believe you. Y'all are assholes, bro. I got, I got to turn this shit around, bro. Y'all are fucking jerks. Oh, yeah. Chat. I didn't even want to ask you who to defend me. What? Who knew he was a wrestling fan? No more. You want to take care of this? I like how you put your hands together first. Y'all are fucking you see, fool, y'all are fools. I'm not gonna wear a hat anymore. Y'all are bullies. Fool. At least Seul had a fucking. Last time he called Aaron a 40-year-old, so at least he's consistent. You got more notes on? I'm, I'm feeling self-conscious, bro. I don't- Okay, like, hey, you see, these fucking fools. So y'all are bullies, bro. I think one of the things that's affecting me right now is the fact that I'm watching AAA and I get to see the product there. And then I see these are live on Saturday on YouTube. It's free. Um, and they have two versions with two different commentaries. The English commentary with JBL, I believe it's Conan, or I don't know who it was last time, and Rey Mysterio. I haven't watched that one. I watched the Spanish commentators because the commentators add a little bit of you know what I'm saying? A little bit of, yeah. So they add a lot of the flavor, yeah. So Dominic and El Hijo de Vikingo came out. They're gonna throw hands. They had a promo. It wasn't a 40 fucking minute promo. It was just like I think like 7 minutes or 8 minutes. I kind of drifted on between watching it and not watching it. They were kind of talking shit. Eventually, they were going to. Dominic was doing his things. El luchador el más grande. Post the shit, bro. Post it. It's coming out. Yeah. So it was the promo wasn't that bad, but I mean, El Hijo del Vikingo kind of teased something. Whether they were going to make a bet, you know what I mean? Whether it was going to be on top, in addition to the belt, whether it was going to be carrera contra carrera or cabellera contra cabellera. So for the uninitiated, um, in Mexico, people wear masks, some wrestlers, and it's something that you hold on to. It's something that you have pride in. It's something that you treasure. Your ability to wear a mask and that you conceal your identity. And so wrestlers sometimes, if the beef is strong, if the beef is intense, they'll make a match, right? Mask versus mask, and the loser loses the mask, right? And if the wrestler is already unmasked, if one wrestler is already unmasked and the other one is masked, then they bet máscara contra cabellera, which means mask versus, I don't know, your hair, like shaving your hair bald. Yeah. So since both of these guys are unmasked, um, El Hijo del Vikingo teased the cabellera contra cabellera, which I am hoping Dominic puts it on the line, and I'm hoping he loses it because I think he needs to move away from Eddie Guerrero. I think he needs to move away now. He can't be riding on the Eddie Guerrero coattails anymore. At some point, he's gonna have to move away from that, and I think the time is now. Nah, Omar, you like Eddie Guerrero more than no. You like Dom? Well, let me know if you're ready. But I do want to ask you this question. Do you think Dominic Mysterio is kind of ready? And he said, "I don't know. This was fucking sick. He's sick. This fool had a fever." He posted it and he said that shit hella funny. Anyway, so but Omar, what do you think? What do you think about Dom? Do you think now's the time for him to kind of pivot away from Eddie Guerrero and the mullet and everything? Estamos afuera. Yeah. Where's the football ring? So like earlier during the infancy of small package wrestling, we talked about Dominic being a nepo baby, and El Duro made an appearance, and he had a few choice words for Dominic. I think that the argument can be made that nepotism got him to this point. I don't know if it's true or not, but some people may argue it. Some say, people say. But I think now is the time for him to shake away whatever benefit, whatever coattails he's been riding. Right now is the time to really do away with it and then shake away from that and really strike his own path and really make it about him now. And I want him to do that. Like I'm rooting for him to do that. And I think symbolically losing the mullet is a way to do it. I used to think that he was the Miss Elizabeth to Liv Morgan, and y'all know how that wounded me. Um, he's winning grapples now. He's winning matches, and so he's really high right now, and he doesn't need the Eddie Guerrero gimmick anymore. I don't want to say he's outgrown it, but he needs to do away with it now. And so, I mean, I'll turn it back to you if you have anything to add. If not, I can go to the next two matches. I think, like I said, I think he could have been, the argument people could have said that he could have been the product of nepotism. The argument could have been made, but I think that after WrestleMania, that's when my opinion of him started to change when he won that match. And how he's been moving, how he's been the champ. He's gonna be the IC champ for about a year. I think is it 6 months now since WrestleMania. He lost it a little bit to Cena, and so I think he's been a good champion. I think he's been a good mega campeon. I feel like the belt hasn't been too large for him, either one, and so I would like for him to really just leave that aside, and just really be his own person now. What is that book that what does Maester Aemon say? Kill the boy, what is that? And I almost want to say that to him, like kill that, like let it go already. Like do you, bro? And I don't, it's not a question for me as to whether or not he could move on and do greater things, is that he should now. The time is now, and he should do it now because he's peaking right now. I don't want to say he's made a believer out of me, but I want to. I want him to. Okay, well at least it's not. I thought you were gonna say throw up. So what is the opposite? What is the opposite? Yeah, I don't listen about. I'll be like, baby, I'll be like that.
Does that sounds like him, right? Doesn't that sound like him? He did. I'm not Bad Bunny, Benito. Hats off. But you still sound like that. It's a compliment. No, man, I'm not hating. I'm not hating. Is Logan Paul good for writing this jerks? I'm not waiting this happen. So I'm not hating on Bernardo, or what's his name? Benito. I'm not hating on him. I'm not hating on him. I don't know what the fuck his name is. I had no idea. I had no idea that he's the most listened to artist in the entire world, bro. Like that's some shit. Like that's some shit. And I've heard of his songs. I've heard songs at the gym and shit like that. It's just not. I don't know. I stopped listening to reggaeton. Do you remember during our booze cruises? Like that's when my reggaeton era was then, and then I didn't listen to it anymore. So, so yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. Hey, Aaron knows ball. Can you put it back up there? The shit, the fucking Benito. Ah, I knew it. I fucking knew it. como dice your Hennessy, fucking up. No, I don't want to give that fool a shout out, man. Benito or whatever the fuck his name is. Like, I didn't know that was his name, but a shout out to him, man. There was a big backlash about him coming out there, and then he fucking knocked it out of the park. And um, I think that the response, his performance was really positive and really inclusive, and somehow that bothers people, you know. But the Bible does say, for those offended, treat foreigners and aliens with kindness. That's what the Bible says. FYI, add that one to the comp. That's what it is. You still flamed your ass. Yeah, dude. Like I was seeing people were saying, like, hey, like, oh, we couldn't understand what the fuck he was saying. Like you didn't understand Kendrick Lamar either, last year, and you could understand him as you had a problem with that too. Like you just have a fucking problem, like you just have fucking issues. Like maybe you're just a dumbass. Like, have you thought of that? Have you considered that possibility? Maybe you're just angry and everything bothers you, and you don't have to be. It takes energy to be that angry over something like this. It takes energy. It takes so much energy to be, you can't be angry all the fucking time. But I mean, and some people do it. Some people manage to do it. This is how they live their lives. This is how they walk out there. You don't have to be angry all the fucking time. Benito is I said his name right. He's an American fucking citizen, bro. He's an American citizen. And even if he wasn't, he's a fantastic fucking performer. The fucking world says it. Like, no es de huevo que tienes que ser culero, güey. Like, you don't have to be a fucking prick. Like, okay. Yeah, like, just speak. Dirty Dom, Bad Bunny at WrestleMania. I thought you guys were going to say Dirty Dom, Stafford, and Bernardo. WrestleMania, I'm down. Yeah, like you're prick. One guy's going to lip sync, the other guy's going to. It would have been funny if he would have said Bernardo. I'm down. I'm down. So let's finish up with triple A or AAA. If we can. That y'all have anything else to add, chat, about Bernardo, your boy? Uh, so, so so there was a mixed tag title between Lola Vice, who I want to make a point. I think we talked about her before, and Mr. Iguana. They defeated Ethan Page and La Hiedra. La Hiedra is part of La Toxica. So it was a really good match. Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana are now the champions. And yeah, Lola Vice, they beat Ethan Page and La Hiedra. You know how Lola Vice throws people into the corner and then she does a little Rikishi thing? Well, fucking Lola Vice did that to La Hiedra. Ethan Page was in the corner already. And both Mr. Iguana and fucking Lola Vice, they went into the corner and they Rikishi both of them. So it's actually pretty funny. Hopefully we can link it, bro. It was a fucking spot. It was a really good match. Y'all. I can't, yeah. Hey, y'all, chat suggested. Don't say Kid Rock. Pick something from